We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen.
Just get me the hell to Daisy Circuit. 6 more caps. 6 more races. Alright. We got this. We got this. Yeah, I'm looking at the future of my LPs, and it seems like I'm gonna end up having to diversify myself sooner than I would have preferred. But like I said, I don't mind. There's still a bunch of different like gaming franchises that I absolutely adore and would love to play that I haven't really had the time to yet. So it's like, it's not like I'm going to be constantly just bringing up the same few old games every now and then. Which is really why I'm going to give Kingdom Hearts 3 like a big send-off. As much as the game kind of agitates me, I'm going to give the game as big of a send-off as humanly possible, specifically because it's going to be the end of an era on my channel. Because my channel has basically been dominated by like a handful of properties by that point. Mario, Pokemon, Kingdom Hearts, Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, and the occasional other games sputtered in. But predominantly it's been those few games, those few franchises. So it's like, yeah, why don't I just plan that out? Why don't I just do that? And Kingdom Hearts 3 is really going to be the end of an era, because now at that point, one of the big tentpole games of the franchises of my channel is done. Granted, yeah, Melody of Memory exists, but it's not like I'm going out of my way to play that godforsaken game again. I did the demo for that game, and I absolutely despised it. So it's like, I don't really care much more about that. And then, obviously, you have Kingdom Hearts 4, which is geared to come out in the next couple of years, within the next few years. But it's still in heavy production, so I can imagine it's probably, I'd say, 3 or 4 years away. 2 or 3 years away, at the most. At the earliest, it will be coming out in the next 2 to 3 years. Which, again, I'm okay with, because, like I said, I may buy it just for argument's sake, but only if it's on a system that I plan on getting. Like, I really don't have plans on getting any new systems, because I'm very content with the systems that I have. Like, I might get the second Switch when that comes out, but that would be it. I'm not getting anything else. Ugh. Like, I'm not too worried about getting another Xbox or another this or another that, because like I said, I have way too many systems as it is. And I don't really need to clutter my collection up with more things if I'm just only going to be playing a handful of games on them. Because I'll be real with you guys, there are not many games that I would like jump out of my way to go out and get. For like new games, like, because so many of the games are just like remakes or not live action, realistic reboots and stuff like that. Like, I don't care about Madden. I don't care about like the sports games that come out every year. I used to as a kid, but like I realized eventually it was the exact same thing every time with very slight upgrades. What the hell happened to my red shell? What the hell happened to my red shell? What is going on here? Are we just making things up as we go now, guys? Okay, fine. If that's what you want. What? I just love that Toad has reflexes of, like, a freaking Greek god, and he's like, I'm just gonna throw this red shell and magically have it hit you before you could even react it fast enough. Drop dead, Toad. Alright, now here. I just gotta catch Baby Rosa. No, that's why I want to... You did not need both those items, you disgusting little waste of oxygen. Rosalina, get out of my way. Whatever. But that's kind of why I want to give Kingdom Hearts 3 a big send-off, because after that, one of the big tentpole projects or franchises on my channel is done. I'm not playing anymore. I'm not LPing anymore. You'll know why when we get to Kingdom Hearts 3, because it agitates me to my very core just thinking about that game. But that doesn't mean that I need to like completely diversify myself, because there's a ton of franchises that I have not really sunk my teeth into that I could definitely go into. I could play more Kirby games. I could play more Pokemon games. I could play more platformers. Well, believe me, there are platforming characters besides Mario, Kirby, Crash, and Spyro. But even then, I still have Crash to do, so once Crash Bandicoot 3 is done, then we'll be able to diversify ourselves even more. But you'll notice that several Nintendo franchises have been neglected by me for a while. So you have Fox, you have Star Fox, you have Legend of Zelda, you have Metroid. So many different franchises I can sink my teeth into without needing to truly fully diversify myself and go into games that I'm not particularly comfortable playing yet. Not to mention, I still have a ton of Switch games that I still have to do LPs for, including the Skywalker Saga for Lego, which will definitely be a riot to play. Not to mention, there's still a bunch of side Mario and Pokemon games that I could play. It's just like I said, Kingdom Hearts 3 may be the end of an era, but it's gonna be the opening of floodgates to an entirely different point in my, Mario, my LPingdom. But in order to get to that point, we have to wrap up the LPs that lead up to Kingdom Hearts 3, which would include this, Pokemon Scarlet, most likely Smash, to go back and do World of Light. I might actually start setting myself up for that today, because like I said, I got really nothing to do today after this. I might just do a little bit of laid-back editing for this, like maybe do like an episode or two. Or maybe I'll do like the first part of the recording session for it. Split that up into 6 episodes, and then boom, I'm set to go until I think until early July. I also will have to do the stuff for the side Pokemon project, which of course has been revealed at this point. I'm trying to get a full and complete living Pokedex of every Pokemon through Gen 9. Easier said than done, because unfortunately I think it's impossible at this point. Because yours truly was stupid and did not get Pokemon Home. Pokemon Bank. So basically, he would have to get a new 3DS, to get a different 3DS, a used one, hope that Pokemon Bank is there, and then be able to transfer Pokemon from that to frickin' the Switch, and hope for the best, because I do not have Pokemon Bank on my 3DS. I wasn't smart enough to get it when they were offering it. Not to mention, there are still Pokemon that I still would have to get different copies of in order to acquire. Either way, like I said, it has not been my day. It has not been my time. But I'm going to give it the old college try no matter what. If I can get at least like 90% of the Pokedex filled in, which I'm 90% sure I can do. Because like you just need 900 Pokemon. I'm pretty sure there's 1,000 Pokemon in the Pokedex right now, so it's like, yeah, all you need is like 900 Pokemon. That's doable. It's just bypassing a few legendaries and mythicals and a few random-ass Pokemon that have not made jumps anywhere, like Patrat. Patrat has been the Pokemon that's been screwed over the most by everything, but Patrat sucks, so it's not like anybody's like crying sad tears for Patrat. Apparently, people cried sad tears for Dunsparce, which is why Dunsparce got an evolution in frickin' Scarlet and Violet, but like I said, I have a lot of things I have to do, a lot of plans I have to make. What the hell is Kamek doing all the way up here? He like just leaped into the top 4. Don't know why. But okay. Alright. Rosalina's Ice World. Let's do this. Only 3 more races to go. Man. The one thing I didn't miss in Florida was my allergies. I cannot catch a freaking break when it comes to these allergies. Literally, like, the minute I got off the plane back to New York, I literally had my allergies swarming all over me. Which means after work tomorrow, I have to go get myself some allergy meds. Some new ones. Actually, I might have to actually go for a walk today. Oh, no, 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 no! Oh, I went the wrong way. Damn it. Okay. Go away, Toad. Go away, Toad. Go away. Shoot. Toad, what part of go away do you not comprehend? It was so weird being in Florida and not waking up like so stuffy that I want to die every morning. I'd wake up and be like, oh my god, I can breathe. Apparently it's northern Florida that is like the biggest issue when it comes to like pollen and allergies, because apparently central Florida there's nothing, and then southern Florida apparently there's even less than that. If that's one of the states my dad wants to go to, I guess I could live with that. I guess I could live with that. Yeah, my dad wants to go to a beach, wants to live within walking distance, not walking distance, like within like an hour or so, an hour's drive of a beach. And originally he was looking at Savannah, Georgia, and it was actually, we almost had a house ready to go, but the problem was my dad still has to work, so it's like, there's no, if he doesn't have a link to his business there, he wouldn't really be able to do much, and then, well, yeah. But now that he's leaning more and more towards retirement, he wants to go to a place where he won't get taxed for any of his things, and one of those places is Florida, so it's like, oh, well, we'll just go to Florida. Which, again, like I said, is not a big deal for me because, well, for one thing, I can do this stuff very easily from anywhere as long as we have internet. And then on top of that, it's not like I have a lot tying me down to New York. Honestly, the only thing that would really be tying me down to New York would be, like, family, and I'll be honest, not a whole lot of the family here is like stuff that I'd be like, I would either A, not miss, or B, would not, it's not like I would never be seeing them again, so it's like a bad start. So it's not like I would never be seeing any of them again, it's just that I would be moving to a different state for different opportunities. Because yes, New York is a state that you can make a lot of money in, but it's also a state that is extremely expensive to live in. Like I was following through with we were strategizing my dad's financial future, and we pointed out, like, as much as he'd want to live in New York, it's just not economically feasible for people to retire here anymore. Hell, my grandmother is pushing 80, and she's still working, because that's just the kind of universe we live in now. You have to constantly work. And even then, my grandmother does multiple part-time jobs. She helps with elderly care. And she does, like, you know how, like, elementary schools have, like, morning programs for kids who have to be dropped off at school early? Yeah, she does, like, I think she does the after-school program for that. But, like, she has to work constantly. My mother's most likely not going to be able to retire. And my sister and brother-in-law both make the most money there in their fields that they possibly can in New York. But again, they're probably going to have to move somewhere else when they retire. And the two of them could not be more against going to like a coastal area than possible because, my God. My brother-in-law, like, hates beaches. So he prefers, like, the cold. But my sister hates the cold, but also hates beaches. So it's like, getting them the perfect place to retire in is going to be next to impossible. They claim to love mountains, but my sister basically can't survive without Wi-Fi and like internet connection. So doing like a mountain cabin in the Poconos is probably not going to happen. Not to mention they both want to start having a family soon, and that's becoming more and more expensive every day. It's like I said, New York is just not a place you can live anymore, unfortunately. Unless, literally, like, you're a doctor or a lawyer or something like that. It's just not economically feasible. Hell, honestly, one of my aunt's a lawyer. My uncle owns his own business. And even when they're retiring, they're going to get a ton of money for the house they sell. But even then, they still can't afford the house they currently live in. They can't afford to live here anymore. They just physically, financially, just cannot afford it. And they make more money than I think I could even imagine making in a year. They're like, I don't think we can afford to live anywhere around here. So they're gonna be moving down south, not as far south as Florida, but in the general vicinity. It's a shame because now you're at the point where, like, you're down to a handful of people in my mom's side of the family that live in the United States, that live in New York now. Everyone has to get together for Christmas, and it's like, that's like the only time you get to see each other. But beyond that, like, most of the people don't live in New York anymore. Chris doesn't live in New York anymore. He lives in Maryland. Shiny Stuffs lives in Pennsylvania with her parents. Like, soon, within the next few years, I imagine the only people still living in New York are probably going to be my aunt and uncle's son, because he just, like, refuses to leave the state because he loves it as much as he does. My mother, my grandmother. Okay, that's, Jesus Christ, that's freaking 3 blue shells. Leave me alone. Remember, the record is 6 blue shells in one race. So if there's another 3, we tie the record. And if we break the record, I'll be very pissed. Alright. But no, like, no one in my mom's side of the family is going to be living in New York anymore. Like, my grandmother, my mother, my mom, my sister, my brother-in-law, and one cousin are probably going to be the only ones who still live here. One uncle's already looking at, like, moving further north. One uncle's looking south. Others are looking elsewhere. That's 4 blue shells. Still time to tie the record. It's just, like I said, it's just a hectic situation to be in. And it's going to be strange that almost nobody living in New York anymore. But you know what? Such is the way of life. It's becoming too expensive to live here. And if that means I gotta open up a new chapter of my life somewhere further south and warm, but more prone to hurricanes, I guess I'll have to get used to it. My dad can't afford to live without me, and I kind of can't afford to live without him, so that's the kind of a situation we're in. Alright, view the results. Believe it or not, it's shocking. I won, I know, but not perfectly. I could have done it perfectly, but alas, a couple of races were a bit of a pain in the posterior to do. Alright. Is there a way to boot up the credits for this? I don't know. Info? Is that it? No. There is nothing. Okay, so I guess we'll just have to wrap things up here. So, with that, the Mario Kart console tour is finito. It is done. It is complete. There may be some extra bonus episodes that get released every now and then, but for the most part, no dice. I am done. And I am so thankful that you guys have all joined me on this wacko journey from Mario Kart Double Dash all the way to friggin' to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, where we went through basically every Mario Kart game I could get my hands on. Went through all the wild shenanigans you have to go through in all the games, and all the gimmicks and all that, and we had a wild ride. I honestly hope that in the future we can do more Mario Kart style things in the future, but who knows if that'll actually be the case. As for the future of the channel, as I've mentioned, we've got to wrap up and complete Pokemon Scarlet, and then we'll be going on to future LPs, or maybe wrapping up Smash. I don't know. The only thing is, I hope you guys are with me for that wild and wacky journey. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm your friendly neighborhood N-Man, and I will see you guys in another LP. Until we meet again, my lovelies, Saya freaking Nara.